Hey everyone, today I'm reviewing friend of the channel's comic book, Like Father, Like Daughter, issue number 5 by Kat Calamia. We'll talk about the story and what's in it, then I'll go over how this comic really informs good writing and what we can learn from it. Before we get into that, be sure to subscribe to our channel, but also you should check out Kat's channel, Comic Uno. She does a lot of fun videos about comics and has a lot of very informative stuff on content ranging from interviews of comic book professionals to reviews of TV shows. A lot of stuff that we never really get a chance to cover here on Comic Island. As a big fan of the Harley Quinn show, I really like her videos on the series myself. We also had her on our channel recently, ranking all of our live-action movies featuring Batman in them. I'll put the links to all of these things anywhere I can, but the point of all this is while we were doing the stream, Kat mentioned I hadn't reviewed the most recent issue, so now we're here. Note also that we've reviewed this entire series, and you can check out all those videos yourself by clicking up in the top corner here for that playlist. And now we're going to go over what happens in issue number 5. Our story begins right where the previous issue had left off. The superhero Invulnerable has just shockingly proven vulnerable, and has been shot and injured. His estranged daughter, Casey, takes the hero to his home. She's never been to this sparsely decorated home before, and in spite of his injuries, Invulnerable shows his daughter a picture of him with her as a baby, and a series of daily journals he kept since becoming a superhero. This is all a lot for Casey, and his father tells her to go home so her mother won't be worried, insisting, in spite of his gun wound, that he will be fine. Little do either of them notice, the recent incident has caught the attention of a Russian spy, secretly working for surviving elements of a Soviet KGB group. Casey returns home and receives a disturbing and mysterious vision. Having trouble sleeping because of this, she gathers her friends, Steph and Wes, in the middle of the night, telling them that she thinks she knows where her dad comes from and is worried he is in trouble. That night, Invulnerable is attacked, and though he handles many of the masked invaders, the hero is taken down by a tranquilizer. Receiving a report of the hero's capture, Casey's mom is pleased, stating that the Soviet Union will be proud. I really like this book, and like I said at the beginning of this video, it has an important reminder of good writing. At almost the exact moment I started really thinking that this story needed a little more than the father-daughter superhero dynamic it had going for it up until now, the mysteries surrounding Casey's visions open up a bit, and we start to really get more world building in this comic that really does a good job at expanding the scope of this story. Meanwhile, I found the art really on point, and perhaps the best it's been in this series so far. I don't know if it's because I've been hitting DC's Black Label a lot recently or something, but I found the coloring by David Avena absolutely lavish and full of life. Looking back on the earlier issues, it does seem like the colors have changed, and I immediately noticed that difference. Wayne A. Brown did a good job with pencils and inks. Art is subjective, of course, but I found some of the facial expressions he draws can vary quite a bit in terms of how convincing they feel. But in issue number 5, while some pages are certainly better than others, Brown really has a number of striking moments with his character artwork in this particular issue. This is also the most action-heavy of all the comics so far, and it seems like Wayne Brown's strength as an artist really comes out in those moments. Overall, I'd recommend this comic, but if it hasn't been made abundantly transparent by now, I do know Kat more than the average writer in a comic book we review, and she is kind enough to send me these books for free. I say that just to acknowledge that there will always be a little bit of a bias in my reviews of these books. We don't usually have anything even resembling a conflict of interest in our reviews, but I always try and let you guys know when it does happen, and it does happen here. Thanks for watching this video, and if you think this story or series would interest you, you can check it out on Kat's Etsy page, which I'll include in the video description below. Stay tuned for more great content this week, including the return of a certain Avenger, or at least someone poorly impersonating him while he plays a Batman game.